Number 4, an earthquake will reveal what lies beneath. Oof. An earthquake will reveal what lies beneath. So I've been on record and I've said this a number of times, and I'm going to say the earthquake for 2020 was everything that really happened, the whole COVID, the lockdowns, the self-isolations, the uncertainty, right? The uncertainty of what's actually going to happen. And I have to put my hand up. I was a little bit naive at the very, very start. I was like, this thing will be over in a month. What are they talking about? I'm sitting here in December recording this podcast, and they've only just started to open up some borders. I mean, that's crazy. But an earthquake will reveal what lies beneath. And for me, I needed COVID to happen, for me personally, for me to get a massive shake-up, right? I was in a position for my health-wise where I was in bad shape. I wasn't in great shape. I'd been the guy for the last 5 years, and you're going to be able to relate to this if you're human, to be perfectly honest. You don't even need to be business-oriented or entrepreneurial or anything. But, I use the excuse of growing a company to put my health on the sideline, right? So I was the guy that I'd do a lot of stop and starts. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on this diet, or I'm going to train like this now, or I'm going to go and do X, Y, Z, and I'd stop it. I'd start it and I'd go for like 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then I might stop, and then I sort of just got back into my bad habits. I just couldn't find something that worked for me, right? But I needed this shake-up to happen because I was like, wow. I'd looked at literally for me physically, it took for me to look in the mirror and see cellulite on my body that I was like, oh my God, like, Brett, what are you doing? Like, where does this come from? It was almost like I was surprised. I was like, how did this happen, right? And it's not hard to actually track back and go, okay, I can see how that happened. But I needed this earthquake beneath me to realize what actually lied in between all of that, because it gave me time to reflect and focus and go, man, is this how you want to be physically? Is this how you want to show up? I set up a gym on our balcony and I started training, and I'll tell you what, this is sort of a lesson from the lesson is I also had this mindset that because I've always generally been quite fit and I've been training at the gym since I was 16, I'm 37 now. I've been training for 20 years, 22, 23 years, let's call it. And I always had the ability to bounce back pretty quickly, right? So I'd always held on to that belief to be true, that I was like, it's all right. When I really want to make a decision, give me 6 to 10 weeks and I'll be back. I'll be back on board and I'll be in really good shape again. This time it wasn't the case. I've literally been training and I'll talk about some nutrition stuff in a minute, but I've literally been at work, personally working on my body for the last 6, 7 months, and it's been hard. It's not as easy as it used to be. I remember hearing my parents talk about as they're getting older, it's like, your body has different plans when it starts to get older, and bloody hell, it's true, right? But sometimes you need these instances to really put you into gear. The one of the biggest ones prior to that was the death of a friend of mine, which really shook up my ability to see, am I actually living life to my full potential, right? Which sent me on this quest, and I wrote a book and plugged to the book called Right Now, right? And that in itself it sort of tells you what it's about. It's, life's too short to be thinking about all these things. We need to start taking action right now. So you can get that book called Right Now, Why Not You and Why Not Now. You can go on Amazon or anywhere where they're selling books. Go check it out. But I needed this shake, right? I needed this shake for me to see the forest from the trees. So number 4 there, an earthquake will reveal what lies beneath.